Hey guys, it's Anarchy aka My POV here today, and if you watch Saturday night's fights or if you're up to date with all the MMA news, then you probably know the topic that I'm going to be covering today. And what I'm going to be covering today is the Cejudo v Dillashaw early stoppage controversy. Actually, at first I thought I was the only person who might have noticed it or thought it, but I think that the stoppage was actually kind of early, and I'm going to be covering some substantial reasons and key points as to why I think the stoppage was early. Also, not taking anything away from Cejudo and his victory on the night, I just want you guys to consider both sides. So first off, we're going to be covering the fact that a referee's job is to ensure that rules are followed, but also that the fighter is kept safe and doesn't need to take any unnecessary damage. And of course, that's a referee's primary job. But also, a thing that I think was not really focused on by the referee that night is the fact that Dillashaw was intelligently defending himself. A fight should only be stopped by TKO or by KO if a fighter is not intelligently defending themselves, is not covering up when they're being rained down with strikes. And the thing is, Dillashaw was actually defending himself. He was attempting to wrestle Henry Cejudo. And that was actually quite clear. So that's the first point. Dillashaw was actually still defending himself intelligently. He was wrestling, attempting to actually stop the strikes, and he was doing that throughout. So that's the first point. The second point is that the UFC basically never interviews fighters after they've been quote-unquote knocked out. They say that Dillashaw was TKO'd, but right afterwards they interviewed him. He was eloquent, he was articulate, he was actually putting his point across very, very well. He was expressing himself fine. There was nothing wrong with his speech. He didn't seem like a fighter that was knocked out. So they never interview fighters after they've been knocked out, but he clearly was fine. He was even protesting the referee's decision right after it happened. So there is that point to consider. I also watched what Dana White had to say about it, and he thought it was an early stoppage too, you know. Experienced fighters like Junior Dos Santos and Frank Mir thought it was an early stoppage. I agree with Junior Dos Santos. My third point is that when there's a belt on the line and there's two champions fighting, there should really be no questions left and, you know, no room for doubt. I agree with Junior Dos Santos on the point that, let's say Henry Cejudo were to finish him anyway, the referee should have given them more time to fight, to let the fight play out, and if the KO was to materialize and, you know, go on further with Cejudo throwing more strikes, then for it to be more definitive. Also, and this is true, Dana White mentioned it, when two champions are fighting, a referee needs to use more careful discretion. He needs to give them basically a bit more time. Because they're two champions, they're experienced, they're top fighters, he should have given them a bit more time for the fight to play out. That's my thoughts on it. Obviously, Dillashaw worked really hard for this camp, so did Cejudo. Dillashaw cut down to the weight, he made weight, he looked really determined. He was really upset as a result of what happened. But in the end, you know, that's how it was. It's unfortunate, and that's how it went, and that's how it played out. So I think as a result of this, of course, let me know what you think about it. Do you think it was an early stoppage? Do you think it was fair or substantial? And regardless of what the result was, there's definitely going to be a rematch at 135 at bantamweight in tow anyway, and we will let both fighters settle it there. So congratulations to Cejudo on your victory. You were great job on keeping the flyweight division going, and props to TJ Dillashaw as well for making the championship weight, for being basically the first man to go down for a super fight. And yeah, guys, this has been Anarchy, My POV. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about the whole situation? Weigh in with your thoughts. Tell me your reasoning. And on Mondays we cover MMA. So I'll see you guys next week. Take care.